Come on in, everybody. It's Trey Rowland. It's Adam Brown. It's Kevin Little. We're here to talk about the instant reaction to Florida State's obliteration of Kent State, 66-10, record smashed like the block of stone in the locker room after this. They break school records for rushing yards at 498. 8 rushing touchdowns, which ESPN played that we had 8 total last year. Psychotic. Yeah, psychotic. Yeah, bro. Nuts. It's really nuts stuff. 775 total yards. They had 30. It was like 35-7 at the end of the first quarter. It was disgusting. They did exactly what they needed to do. It was a replay of the week before, even after the bye when they played, like I said, ITT Tech, A&M. This team just continues to take care of business. It seemed pretty blasé. I didn't really think of like what the main storyline would be. It was just another business workman-like performance, just a team going in, clocking in, getting their work done, getting out, doing what they needed to do, until we had a little bit of an ankle twinge on Tommy Castellanos, and that you could hear the collective gasp in the stadium. It looked like he ran out. Everything looked like it's going to be okay. Obviously, stay with Noles247.com. I'm going to give you all the news and notes on that. That was the big story. If he is all right, which it looks like he is, jogged out, good wherewithal from him to like let the stadium know that he's okay. I guess if that is still fine, then I would say the story of the game to me is watch out for Mai Danzy. Holy hell. What a weapon. What about you guys? Was that the story for you? What'd you think of the game in totality before we get down to the nitty-gritty?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen Mai Danzy's track speed. I mean, when he turned on, I'm trying to think, was it a end around again? It wasn't
on this play, yeah. They did the touchdown play again.
He broke one tackle, and then you can just see him turn on the track speed, and it was just different than football speed, and the secondary just had no idea what to do. But I think seeing him catch a couple of deep balls, seeing him actually have really good ball skills, when up into this point, we haven't really got much verification that he was anything more than a gadget guy, but he looked like a real wide receiver out there. He looked like someone that you could line up wide and throw the ball to, going up, making contested jump ball catches. I mean, if you're the fastest guy in the field and can catch the ball in traffic, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And like I recall back during fall camp, Gus was clearly very excited about him. There was he was mentioned. You could kind of tell there was a little bit different glow to or twinkle in Gus's eye when he was mentioned. I mean, this is a classic Gus kind of player, a guy that he can move around and do a lot of different things with. But it's nice now you've got it on tape of him being a threat as far as catching the ball down the field. So you've got to respect that. I mean, you always had to respect that speed, but you didn't know if you had to respect his ability to actually go and play the ball. If I recall, what was it, last year? Or maybe, I think it was last year. He had like a wheel route or something like that. He just didn't look natural playing the ball in the air. He kind of dropped it. I want to say maybe it was against Clemson, but anyway, it's nice to see him track the ball. Nice to see him play the ball at its high point. He looked like a real wide receiver out there, and a guy that you're going to be able to utilize running routes, because we know what Gus's passing offense is going to be. It's going to be deep shots, and I don't think we've even begun to scratch the surface yet on what the passing offense is going to look like as we move forward here into the next quarter of the season for them. I think that they've put a lot. I think they put what they needed to put on tape and do what they needed to do to beat Bama. I think they've put a lot of crap on tape here the last 2 weeks against these two teams, these two lesser teams, to set things up as we move forward. And I think that they've avoided a lot of the passing attack stuff. I mean, there's been some deep shots, but as far as just like actual passing game, like there really hasn't been much of it, has there?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen kind of deep shots off of play action, but you haven't seen a lot of kind of their intermediate plays that they went to pretty consistently last year. You've seen some RPOs, but even then you haven't seen a ton of that.
Right.
That pick is the interception concerning. That was a, you know, an RPO that kind of got picked from a defensive lineman, which, you know, is something that will happen when your quarterback is under 6 foot tall. That is a potential place. I mean, I don't think you like plan your whole game around that, but
No.
it is something that can potentially happen, and you saw it there.
Looks like
yeah.
we lost Trey to his
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. We'll be here, brother.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think you've seen most of what they have with the run game, but the passing game, there's a little bit more there. A little bit. Yeah, sorry.
I just think big picture is, you know, there's not probably a ton of value in talking about this game. I mean, we'll discuss it, what we saw, what we think, but it's just big picture wise moving forward against your, you know, you have your first ACC opponent coming up in Virginia, and then Miami obviously coming to town after that. You've established Squirrel White as a deep threat. Deuce Robinson is a deep threat. Mai Danzy is a deep threat. So now they have to prepare for those players as far as guys going down the field and being pass catchers. You also have to prepare for Mai Danzy on the end around. So that's something you got to think about. Now you can build your passing attack off of how teams are going to treat those players. Are they going to cap Deuce? Are they going to cap Mai Danzy? What are you going to see man? And then you can build around your passing game around what they're doing to defend those players since you've established them now. And I think that's important. I think it lets you start thinking about what your next iteration of the offense is going to be from a passing attack. And it lets you get Tommy kind of in a comfortable place. As far as the interception, I mean, that was kind of dumb luck, right? I mean, it was a weird fluky kind of play off of an RPO. I mean, the RPOs continue to look good. I think my biggest takeaway from the offense tonight was I thought the operation looked really crisp. I thought I've been wanting to see the tempo pick up, and I thought you came out and the tempo got to where they're going to want it to be. They played lightning speed tonight, which was encouraging. I don't feel like we've seen lightning from them yet. I thought we saw lightning, especially that first drive tonight. They were super fast on the ball, and I think that's important as you move forward because they're going to want to play with more pace, and they're going to want to, you know, as you play a Miami, you're going to want to pace. You're going to want to speed the game up on them a little bit. In my opinion, to get as many possessions as you can for your offense. So it's good to see that part of the operation getting better.
You put up 35 points in a quarter, so
yeah, it's crazy how fast. I mean, you got to be rolling to do that.
Yeah.
What'd you guys hit on while my Iowa internet
We talked about the passing game a little bit, and then just kind of big picture offensive. Like happy to see the tempo get picked up.
What do we think? Do we think that it is interesting how Gus Malzahn, in a way, like the game with Etam and the game with Kent State, there's like he introduces a new dimension of the offense that defensive coordinators have to worry about. Not so much schematically, right? They ran like the same formation, the H-back, 2 wide receivers to the field side. They didn't really do much, right? But now you got to worry about Deuce Robinson. Now you got to worry about Mai Danzy doing something other than the touchdown reverse. Like he's putting stuff out there that needs to be game planned for, while also not revealing a lot of different concepts and schemes. They haven't used all the motion that they used against the Alabama game. They haven't really used it again, and I know that they will. So it's kind of interesting. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's just kind of happenstance, like whoever's got the hot hand, they feed them? Or do we think that there was a concerted effort to like, hey, 19, we're going to get you, like we're going to force feed you some stuff and get you behind the defense? Or that's just how the game kind of worked out?
When you saw, I mean, this isn't new. Norvell did the same thing at Memphis, and he did the same thing at FSU. So I think it is something that's concerted. I think that it's something that they plan through and think about. When you hear someone say it's an offense for playmakers, or when you see someone, you know, describe kind of how this offense has to work, well, Malzahn's playbook isn't complicated. It's not a million plays they're going to throw at you. They're not going to throw you super exotic formations to try to get you out. Mm-hmm. They're going to find a good matchup. They're going to match up that guy on your guy. So say you have a bigger, slower safety, well, I'm going to get Mai Danzy on him. Or say you have someone who's smaller, I'm going to get Deuce Robinson on him, you know. or see if someone that can stride but maybe not change directions, well, now I'm going to get squirrel white on them. So I do think in these warm-up games, it was probably concerted to say, all of these matchups are fine. We're going to be good with all of these matchups. So let's hit some specific ones, get them game reps. So when we get into a game when it's like, okay, we can't get the matchup we want on Deuce Robinson, but if we've got Deuce in the game, that means Squirrel White has a good matchup, or that means that Mai Danzy is a good matchup, then you're going to see them go off. I think just like with Norvell's offenses, it's a pretty common thing that you see players have high fluctuations in yardage.
That's a good point, Adam. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think that Gus loves to run the score up and put up
he does.
loads of yards on these types of teams. That's historically just the data suggests that this is what he does against these teams. He's going to go, I don't want to say like not hold anything back, but he's going to go keep his foot on the gas and try to destroy these teams. I mean, there are a lot of valuable reps put on tape. I think there was a lot of good building on connections with Deuce in the first game. Didn't feel like that was as much of an emphasis in this one, but building with Mai Danzy. Like I do think that there was a point to get Mai Danzy involved in the passing game down the field this week. I think that was something that you wanted to establish. You need to show that he's more than just an end around threat, because teams will treat him differently moving forward. They've now got three games worth of tape on Mai Danzy. So you needed to show that he can be more than just that. Because if he can't ever go out and catch the ball as a pass receiver, then you don't have to worry about him as much.
Right.
I mean, you got to consider him, but you can not be as mindful of him as a wide receiver. So it's good to get that. I think that was I would imagine that was something that they went into this game saying we need to accomplish. Because he's clearly, I think when Squirrel White comes back, he's clearly like your number 3 wide receiver, in my opinion. Now they don't deploy him that way, but he's clearly your number 3, in my opinion. And then with like Boggs and Louis McCoy being 4 and 5, and they get them all on the field at the same time. But I don't know how much more Gus is going to like open up. He's going to continue to do what he does. I think he's going to start showing some more formations and.
Well, against Virginia. Now you're getting into the conference play. Now it's like you do what you got to do to win the game. You're not really worried so much about holding stuff back as you were. I think the thing that I like, Adam, is that now you've got game-proven film that Florida State has 3 guys that can beat your defense deep, right? Squirrel, Deuce, and Mai Danzy. Anything that you can do to try to get those DBs to play a little bit more passive and be cognizant of that, because then you could take advantage of it at the run game, and that's what I'd like to talk about. Gavin Sawchuk, man, what a wonderful pickup in the offseason. That kid runs tough. He's built for the scheme. If you need a first down, if you need somebody to plow into the end zone, if you need tough yardage, he's your guy. And he had 2 more touchdowns today with a nice big explosive run of 40 yards being his longest. Sam Singleton looked nice. Like they rewarded him with some early carries based on his performance in the game before. Chroma's awesome, dude. Like every time he touches the ball, he's fun. Just keep on getting him more comfortable. And then they ran the touchdown for Mai Danzy. It's just a million people carried the ball, and they all averaged like around like 8 yards a carry or more. It was crazy. Like just great job by the offensive line as well. They didn't lose a step. They bulldozed this team that they needed to bulldoze, and they handled their business, and they just keep looking like a great unit.
Yeah, I would say, what's hard to say about all this is that it's not a given that a team goes out and blows out a Kent State.
No, not at all.
It is. You see good teams all around the country struggle on these gimme games, or at least kind of have slow starts, or, so the fact that they come out and they execute and just really blow them away is something to be noted, right? Mississippi State only beat NIU 38-10, right? Notre Dame, a team that makes the national championship, loses to NIU last year. Yep. So beating
Ohio
these MAC
State was in a rock fight this year with Miami of Ohio, regular Ohio, the Bobcats with regular Ohio last week for a long. Like it isn't a given. Like Syracuse, they beat Clemson today in Death Valley, and they do skin of their teeth against UConn, the mighty Huskies. Like
they lost to University of Delaware, by the way.
Oh, dude, they got henned. They got pecked.
They got henned, baby. They got henned.
Love it.
I do think that there were some things that, might be good working points that I saw, like places where they could grow.
Where do you think? Because primarily on offense or on defense? On offense, I feel like pretty buttoned up. On defense, I did like that they got caught. That they got caught on that kind of like nice play design. But a little bit. I like that. And then after the Castellanos interception, they had to like actually play on their own side of the 50 since the Alabama game. I like that. But where did you see those areas of improvement that they can work on?
Yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more dominance in the run game from the defensive line. I think you still saw some places where the coverage was questionable. They went a few reps with man, and it felt like they weren't quite as strong in that as they've been with zone. Kent State was able to get a pass interference call, kind of get a few yardage off their man coverage, and so yeah, I think there's some things that you need to be kind of watching out for and kind of keeping in mind, because in 2 weeks you're playing a Miami team who might have the best looking offense in the country right now. So those kind of
besides
things,
ours, honestly,
realistically, based off everything I'm seeing, these might be the best 2 looking offenses I've seen this year. Unfortunately, there's not a huge sample size for Florida State, besides beating up on these small teams. But yeah, I mean, but you're going to face a really good offense here in a little bit, an offense that you have to beat. And so those are places you have to win the line of scrimmage if you want to beat Miami. They will just run duo down your throat until you're sick. So you have to have that intermediate covered, or else Carson Beck's going to have a field day. So you've got to clean these things up, and I think it's almost a good thing that they were able to see some of the places where it seemed like they were trying a few things on defense today, and that didn't always work out. But yeah, I'm glad they kind of got caught with their hand in the cookie jar before you're facing a team that can actually hurt you.
Totally agree. And Kent State, they had 206 total yards on the day. I think 75 were on that one, the touchdown play. So they recovered. But like you said, some holes in the defense. Some coverage where the wide receiver could get some good space. I thought the DBs made a little shaky at first. Quindarius, I think, is still adapting to the system, still a little bit handsy. A play that Jerry Wilson didn't have his best rep. And then, of course, he came back, and when they were aggressive, man, awesome interception. Yeah. Trabril Rawls, was great to see him back there. So they did recover. They did adapt. I do like them trying different stuff in this game, Kev, because if there's one thing Tony White wants to have, he wants to have potential answers to the problems that the teams are going to impose on his defense. He doesn't want to get stuck. Try it out now so that if I do got to call it, if they are beating our kind of like base scheme or something like that, or I need to be able to do something different to counteract this specific thing, we've done it before in a game. Adam, what did you think of the defensive effort?
I think the calling card for this defense is effort. I mean, I think that's the
played hard, played smart.
It's what they do. I'm concerned about the defensive line still. I'm concerned about a guy like James Williams and what that's going to look like when you play Miami, but we're not there yet, so I'm not going to ring that bell. And I think people know at this point that I'm going to give you what I feel like. Honestly, in 23, I told you I was worried about the run game. I was worried about what the offensive line was doing. There's nothing when I watch these games that I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be a problem down the road. The closest thing is the intermediate zone coverages, kind of that middle of the field, and the ability for the linebackers. I have some concerns there, but it's improved week over week. It hasn't gotten worse. It has gotten better. You can tell that it's something they're working on, and they're getting more comfortable in. I think they're doing a better job of getting like Edwin Joseph in the right places, and he's playing
I think so
more
too.
Discipline than he did in the beginning of the season, and it made sense. We found out that he was injured for a portion of camp, so it makes sense that he was a little bit behind. He's catching up now. I worry. I do. The defensive line is where my concern is still. Just watching James Williams and him not making an impact yet as a pass rusher, which is what you thought he was. And then in his inability to come in and really be a run forcing player, that's a spot that I think they've got to get a lot better, but it gets offset by Earl Little Jr. I mean, he is just a freaking
always there, man.
He's
always
a freaking
there.
animal, and they funnel the ball to him. I mean, they funnel the ball to get to him, to get to Ashlyn Barker. They find a way to get the ball to those guys to be there as run stoppers. So it's good. I just want to continue to see, and I don't know if you can. I don't know if they've got the bodies or the skill there yet. But like I want to see Darrell be more of a force. You know, I want to see him take that next step in a big game coming up. Because don't forget, I mean, Bama ran the ball on you. They did have
the first drive, absolutely. They ran it down your throat.
And they just kind of went away from it. They quit doing it. So Miami's not going to do that. They're not going to stop. Virginia's not going to quit running the football. They're going to stick with it. So
yeah, Virginia's good at running the ball too.
Huh?
Virginia's been good.
Yeah, I mean their offense has been good. Like they're going to test you. So I want to see how they continue to respond, because it's not going to be easy for them these next couple weeks. And I want to see that defensive line come out and really try to impose themselves against a Virginia.
I will say I've been really impressed. Obviously, I've been impressed with the safeties and their run fits the entire season, but I think the linebackers have gotten a lot more aggressive and active, man. You can see Blake Nicholson out there making plays, looking really comfortable. Mm-hmm. Elijah Herring, I thought, had a really good game today. Really big fourth down stop. He's finger taped up in a wing flavor.
Give the people what they want, Trey.
Describe this wing in a wing flavor. That's what the commenter said.
I do know, and he makes his own sauce.
I figured he's wanting to meet you at a bar, and
yeah. No, it's not anything. It's not anything like nefarious. He's actually a friend of mine. Yeah, I'm not gonna end up in like a Lifetime movie or something like that. Dude, like this was just. It's hard to get anything too exotic. To me, this was
straight
like
up mild.
Medium,
Okay.
light medium.
Okay.
Baked really good, really crispy skin, like just like the perfect kind, like all weather. Like this is great. It's not going to be nuts, but it's exactly what you need at the right time. They did what they needed to do, which a lot of teams don't. So I think it's a nice light medium, blue cheese, crisped up, naked wing. There you go. Just exactly what you needed. Like the way you guys are feeling, I feel good. And I said it the last time we podcasted with you guys on the Instant. You don't normally feel good after these little crap games because it's always about what you didn't do. And I don't feel that way. They did what they needed to do. There's little things that they needed to tweak, and there were some things that they didn't do great. They never did anything bad. They did some stuff at the beginning of the game that was like, oh, they could improve on that. And then they improved in the middle of the same game. So it's like, I can't be that nitpicky, dude. They took care of business.
I feel like I just always remember back to 23 in that second game against, I can't remember who they were playing, but they ran for like 300 and some yards. And I was frustrated about the run game and got a lot of shit about it from people. And it ended up, the offensive line fell apart. It looked like a complete mess when they needed it later on the season.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I feel like you know what this team is. It's a good team that plays with an edge, plays really hard, and they're going to give you everything they've got down in and down out. They're going to make mistakes. There are some talent deficiencies, but they make up with those and how hard they play. And that's what Mike kind of talked about all season. That's what they've been looking for. So like when I look at glaring holes or whatever on this team, I'm not as worried because they play so damn hard. And I don't look around and I don't see a team that's perfect out there. Miami's got its own issues. I mean, they should have lost to Notre Dame. They should have probably blown them out, but they should have also lost to them. So I feel like all the other teams out there, they have glaring deficiencies also. It's just going to be who plays hardest.
I'm with you. And this seems like a very gettable year for not the maybe most talent-rich team. Like it really does, man. Like there's a lot of parity. LSU, their win against Clemson keeps looking.
Worse and worse is what he was going to say.
I think that's what he was going with. That Iowa, all I'm seeing is Trey.
Yep.
Am I back? Okay.
No, he's back. There he is.
Great. Fun internet. Anyway, like this is a year. It's a very interesting year. Every team has their own warts, but Florida State's their warts have been on paper, right? It's like, oh, how are these 2 3-star freshman defensive linemen doing this? How is this guy who is at Memphis doing this and this and that? It's all theoretical because on the field they played kick ass and they played cohesively and they played synergistically and they played hard. And dude, I can tell you, especially from watching a little bit of that Clemson-Syracuse game, watching Clemson's way more talented defense at Florida State continue to play like assholes and idiots and just like making these same boneheaded mistakes over and over again. If you can get a consistent effort from a team for an hour, for 60 minutes of football, dude, it's a salve, dude. Like, it's a tonic. It covers up a lot of stuff. Like, it's Botox for a football team. It fills in a lot of imperfections.
Yeah, I think the question is still out on, like, you know, if they get punched in the face, if they're behind.
For sure.
Against Alabama, you got to kind of, I mean, you're down 7-0, but, you know, you got to stick to the script. You weren't in a position where you felt like you had to start pushing the ball downfield or start rushing. That might not always be the case, and it might take a different flavor when the team is stressed. But I would agree that as of now, it seems like this team seems to, you know, be very composed, plays hard, seems to, have a plan and stick to it and execute it. And I think that's all you can ask.
Yeah, it's just like a way more talented version of like a really good Dave Dorn NC State team. They swarm to the ball. They run it down your throat. They execute. They don't make dumb decisions. They don't make dumb penalties. Like, it's really nice. There's not a lot of
if Dave Dorn had an offense.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Dave Dorn could coach offense. And I'm not using that to like be disparaging at all, dude. I love watching this team play. Like, and in this year where there really isn't the juggernaut team, maybe the team that plays every single second of every single play is the one that's alive at the end. A lot of season to go, a lot of things there. But, dude, I can't critique what they're doing. I can't critique what they're doing because they're really just they're doing what they're supposed to do above and beyond. Short week at Virginia, on the road, first time on the road this year. Could be the potential for, a different environment change. Let's see how they handle that. If they could handle that and pass that test, I don't know, dude. I'm confident. I'm confident, but this week will be a very, very interesting week, especially with, I don't know what Miami's doing against Florida right now, but with that potential mega matchup looming, keeping their focus on a Virginia team that doesn't have a great record, but does do some things well that can cause you fits. We'll see. I'm intrigued. But as far as this game against Kent State, pulverized, steamrolled like that dude in Austin Powers 1, bro. Just slowly pancaked over 60 minutes, man. Like, they did great. They did what they needed to do. And I'm gonna go have some beers and just watch the rest of college football. It was really relaxed, brother. I can't wait. Anything more from my friend?
No, I think Virginia's going to be a decent litmus test. I think they're a top 35 team that, if you want to be the top 10 team,
that's aggressive.
You don't think they're there?
I mean, 35. I don't know about 35, but
they're in the top
NC
50.
State. I would say they're in the top 50 for sure. I mean,
right. So they're a team that if you're sleeping, if you're a top 25 team that's not paying attention on the road, you can lose to. So I think how they come out against Virginia will show. Is this a top 10 team that's going to go to business no matter what, or is this a team that might be in a couple of slogs against some top 50-ish opponents?
They keep saying the UCF and the Auburn people that the Gus will pitch a random stinker. So I keep waiting for that to happen. It looks different. I don't know. The dude looks super energized. I don't know, but they keep telling me that that's going to happen.
And they say a lot of stuff.
They do say a lot of stuff.
This team plays with a lot of edge, and if you show up and play hard, you're going to not have stinkers, and that's the key. I mean, you've got a veteran offensive line leading the way. You've got a quarterback that's played a lot of snaps, and while he's not perfect,
he's got sauce, dude. I like the aura. He's an aura farmer. I like that.
I don't see
what they say on
maybe I'm gonna knock on wood, and maybe I'll regret these words. I just don't see a stinker coming with the edge that this team plays with. Now, if they lose that focus, then sure. But they seem locked in right now, week to week. Like, they know what the mission is. And
absolutely,
that goes a long way when you're playing football. Because I was talking to somebody earlier about, like, Clemson. Clemson just doesn't look like they give a shit. And like, if you care about what you're doing through the work week and then during the game, like, it's going to show up. You're not going to lay a stinker if you care.
Yeah, man, his Dabo's press conference is going to be legendary this week. And you know what else is legendary? The coverage on Noles247.com. If you guys are not a part of the website, get on there right now. The season rules, the Noles 24/7 message board rules. Go in there, XS NOLES 247. Get you like half off. I don't know, something like that. We'll be back, dude. We'll be back, and you'll be seeing us on Friday night on your screen for the Virginia game. Fun, interesting test. A lot of stuff on Noles247.com. Once again, Florida State pulverization, 66-10. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We love you. We will talk to you later, and keep chopping.
Skadoosh.